Okay, guys. So now let's come to profit and gains of business or profession, a very, very important chapter, PGBP. You would have studied that in CA Inter. I'm going to revise that portion now, and then we'll have to go into whatever is there in CA Final. When I say revise, it's like we're doing it again. Don't worry. Revision means, I'll just assume that you already know it. No. My assumption is you guys have forgotten everything, which is the truth. No problem. We'll do it from scratch. Don't worry about it. So this next chapter is profit and gains of business or profession, popularly called as PGBP. One of the most important chapters in income tax. Many questions will come. If not like direct, like combined question will have many adjustments from PGBP. Of course, you would have studied the basics in CA Inter. You would have forgotten the basics also, no problem. We will do it from scratch, right? Profit and gains of business or profession. So it starts with your section 28 and it goes on to various things. Very interesting and easy section, chapter. Capital gain is easy, everything is easy. Don't worry. Right? So, as I told you, I'll try giving this material also. Yeah. So, the charging section, my dear friends, as I told you, is section number 28. It talks about profits and it talks about gains. So, profit and gains from business. Does gain also include loss? Does income also include loss? Yes. That's why the definition says income includes. Does income include negative income? Answer is yes. Income also includes what? Negative income. So, profits and gains. So, if you see income definition, 2 clause 24 talks about profits, talks about gains, talks about losses as well. Profit, gains, and losses. Everything is covered. Yeah. So, income, 2 clause 24. Income speaks about profits, gains, losses, everything. So, section 28 is the charging section for PGBP. This talks about profits, gains, losses, everything. So, first and foremost, we need to understand what do you mean by business and what do you mean by profession. Need not write anything, guys. It's just basics. You can just listen. No need to write anything. Don't worry. That's why I'm just showing you whatever is already written because this is your CA inter syllabus. Little bit revision is needed. But when I say revision, it's like for you, it is new only. No problem. So, what is business? What is profession? What is vocation? Business. Business has a wide meaning. Whatever effort you put for which you get return is called business. It can be organized or unorganized sector. You may open a new business after you become a chartered accountant, right? Let's say you do something in artificial intelligence and you open a business in AI. Is that business? Yes. Or you may say, I don't know why I did CA. I'll open one pani puri stall. You may open a pani puri stall, unorganized sector. Is that also business? Yes. Can business be an isolated incident? Yes. During rainy season, in the what do you say signals, they'll be selling umbrella. Is that business? Yes. The same person during summer season, he'll be selling tender coconut. He'll be selling what do you say buttermilk. Is that business? Yes. Business can happen at isolated. Even one incident can be business. No problem. Any adventure, anything that you use to check the present surroundings, present infrastructure, and then do that one deal also is also called as business. What is profession then? Now, business and profession are mutually exclusive. Means what? If you are doing business, you cannot do profession. If you are calling something profession, you can't do it, say business. If you are a practicing chartered accountant, you can't say I'm doing business. You are actually in the profession. If you are a practicing advocate, you cannot say I'm doing business. He's doing what? He's actually practicing in the court. So profession is what? A specialized skill set. So profession, you will need a specialized skill set. It can be intellectual skill set like CA, CS, lawyer, whatever intellectual, or it can be where you will have to work, labor, surgeon, sports person, all these things. This is a specialized skill set needed for a profession. So business and profession are mutually exclusive. The business, there is a wide meaning. There are efforts needed, returns, organized, unorganized. Profession, you have specialized skill set, intellectual and labor. Then you have something called as vocation. Then it is called vocation. Vocation is like a calling that you have from within. You would have seen no many Babas. There is one Baba called Rarara Baba. I don't know. Just search on Google Rarara Baba. That fellow was a Christian missionary, right? His job only was to speak about that particular religion. Then we have our Asaram Babu, child rapist. Then you have Sri Nityananda. So many people are. You have Zakir Naik. So many clerics. So many Babas from various religions. These people. There was one DVD Baba also. You should put DVD near the kidney and say kidney pain gone. I'm not joking. This Rara Baba was Sebastian Martin, chartered accountant, believe it or not. He left his profession and joined a vocation. So vocation is where you are calling, your passion. So his passion was towards religion, right? So Rara Baba, you should see it to believe it. It's funny. So these things, there is business, there is profession, there is vocation. All are mutually exclusive, and vocation definitely is a very small part of your profession. But ultimately, whatever you're earning money, will you have to pay tax on it? 100% yes. No doubt about it. So in PGBP, what is taxable? Capital receipt or revenue receipt? Always revenue receipt is taxable. Capital receipt is not taxable. If you receive a loan, it's not your income. It's a capital receipt. So will it be taxable? No. Always there is a difference between capital receipt and revenue receipt. Always there will be a argument or an understanding between what is capital receipt and what is revenue receipt. Is capital receipt taxable? No. Revenue receipt definitely taxable. If I'm receiving any kind of profit, either in cash or in kind, definitely it will be taxable. In cash, if I'm receiving, it will be taxable. In kind, if I'm receiving, also it will be taxable. So, as fees, let's say I charge 1 lakh rupees from my client, taxable. Instead of you paying me 1 lakh more, I'll just tell one simple thing. You please organize a Singapore trip for me. Organize a Singapore trip for me, I'll tell. Is that also taxable? Yes. So it's crazy. Cash 1 lakh taxable. Kind 2 lakh taxable. Everything is taxable. So if I take anything in kind also, it will 100% be taxable. Anything that I receive profit will be taxable. If I reimburse any expenditure, is it taxable, guys? Is it profit? No. I would have spent, let's say, on travel. I'll tell my client, sir, I have gone there for you and I've spent this money. Kindly reimburse that money to me. He is reimbursing what I have spent. Is that taxable? No. Any voluntary payment on your own, if you have paid, that is taxable if there is a nexus. Nexus means what? Business connection. For example, you as a chartered accountant have done a very, very good job. Client is extremely happy. The client will give you a smartwatch worth 50,000 rupees. Is it taxable? Yes. It's a gift. It's not a gift. It's a professional gift. There's a link to the business. Did he give it to you in your personal capacity? No. He gave it to you because you did a very good job. So one of my friends actually is a lawyer. So he got one, he did one very good case. And the client was so happy that he gifted him a car. Client actually gifted him a car. Now tell me guys, that gift, is it because he's his, son-in-law or something? No. Gave a gift for what? Is he his son? Is he his daughter? No. He gave a gift because of his professional work. Is there a nexus or a business connection here? 100% yes. So what do you think? Is it taxable or not? Yes, taxable. So I need to see the nexus. And as I said, it can be an isolated incident also. In the hills of Nilgiris, there is a flower that blooms that you know. It is called Neela Kurinji flower. It comes only once in 12 years. So once you decide that you are going to create a tour around this Kurinji flowers, whoever wants to see the Kurinji flowers, you will organize a tour and take them there, the Kurinji flowers. Now tell me, it's just you're gonna do it once in 12 years. Will you be doing it next 12 years later? You don't know whether you'll live or die. You'll still, it blooms only once in 12 years, Kurinji. Now the question is, you'll organize trips. Is that also business? Yes. Isolated incident is also called business. Right? An employee. So basically, point number 5, you see, isolated venture is also called business. See, whatever I'm doing now, everything is here. I'm just giving you, just revising it. Everything is here. Don't worry. All these examples, whatever is there only. See, all these things are there. Just giving you the basics. Employee. As an employee, you may get a car, you may get a driver, you may get a gas connection, you may get waters, home basically. You may get two servants. Now, all these things, guys, is it business? No. This will come under perquisites. Will it be PGBP? No. These will be income from salary. But if you are getting this as an employee, then it is employee means salary. If you are getting this as a consultant, or a consultant for the company, you are not an employee. This will come under PGBP. PGBP. So employee and consultant. One is employee, one more is consultant. Consultancy, you have contract of service and contract for service. If I say contract of service, generally it is employment. It will not come under PGBP. And if it is contract for service, then it will be definitely PGB. So you need to see there is contract of service or for service. Simple. So builder will collect 10% from you and say that 10% is non-refundable. Will calculate, take an advance of 10%, non-refundable. Tomorrow, if you don't buy that because of your mistake, not going to refund that 10 lakhs. Let's say you pay me 10 lakhs, I'm the builder, and you don't go ahead with it. 10 lakhs is non-refundable. I forfeit it. Now, is that my income? Is the question. Many courts have held that that is not an income. That is a capital receipt which is not taxable. Capital receipt not taxable. right? So if you see the module, we're discussing the chargeability, value of any benefit, gold ring, etc. Yes. So if I receive a free maintenance activity on my car, I buy a car, first three services are free. Is it a benefit or perquisite is the question. So guys, there is nothing free. If I go to stay in a room in a hotel, they say breakfast is free. No, that breakfast amount already they would have taken it nicely. Then they're simply giving it for free. That's not free at all. It's all included in the package. That you cannot call it as free, right? Yes. So there is it. So B1 and B2, you can just go through. Go through B1 and B2. Okay, guys. Okay, where were we? Yeah. So we're discussing the basics. Let's move on. So one by one. So if you see, you studied page number three and I mean sorry, two and one and two. You understood all those things there. So if a client gifts a gold ring and all those things, now what will it be called? It will be obviously called as nexus. When there is nexus with the business, that's all there is to it. So KMP guys, key managerial person, KMP. So KMP, as per Companies Act, who is a KMP? KMP can be a MD, manager, full-time director, CEO, CFO, company secretary. All these people will be called KMP. Now, for these people, I get them something called as insurance. What type of insurance I'll get? I will get something called as keyman insurance. So, keyman insurance means what? An insurance given to these people because they are the key men of the company, right? So for them, I will give this insurance policy because they are the key men. Key men means what? They are the most important people in the company. If anything goes wrong with them, then obviously company is to blame. Which means what I'm trying to tell is, if there is a fraud which somebody else does, then they should be protected. If they do the fraud, then the company must be protected. If anything happens to their life, then they have to be protected. Their family has to be protected. Company also has to be protected. Guys, today I'm just saying, just an example. If something were to happen to Mukesh Ambani, you understand what happens to the entire company, right? What happens to the stock market? It will go haywire. As much as you say that it is the company, it is actually the individual who's running the company matters the most. The company, insurance, scheme and insurance. Then company is giving and company will pay the insurance premium. They'll take a keyman insurance against the life of the director, and then who will pay the premium? Company will pay the premium. Now, earlier, if the premium is paid by the company, well, let's come to that. If premium is paid by the company earlier, is it allowed to be debited to the P&L account? Is it a business expenditure for the company? Yes. Because premium is paid to whom? Premium is paid by the company to whom? To the insurance company. And it is on behalf of whom? On the people. So is it a business expenditure? Yes. Will it be allowed to be debited to P&L account? Yes. Even now, is it the same? Yes. Second one is what? Surrender value. Second one is what? Surrender value. So if the employee or a KMP, right? If they receive something called surrender value, means there is no fraud. That insurance is for like 5 years. 5 years is over. In 5 years, you have not made any fraud. So who receives? The KMP receives the money. If he receives the money, if he receives the money earlier, it was exempt under 1010D earlier. And many years before only, they removed that section 1010D. And they said, boss, you have to pay tax. Employee has to pay tax as a salary if you get that money. If you are a consultant, then it will be taxed under section 28 PGBP. So I am a consultant and I am a top management person. And the company has taken a key man insurance. Every year they are debiting to P&L account, fair enough. But after 5 years, I'll get the bulk money. Is it taxable in my hands? 100% yes. Earlier it was exempt, but then that 1010D was removed. The employee will be taxed as salary? Yes. Consultant, section 28? Yes. As an honorary chairman, will it be taxed in my hands? That is also yes. What is honorary chairman? Honorary chairman is like, our Narayan Murthy ji of Infosys. Is he a director? No. Is he the founder? Yes. Is he part of the board of directors? No. He is just a honorary chairman. It's called chairman emeritus. He has no special powers. He's just been, as a mark of respect, they are giving him that chairman position. Here and there he comes to the company. Now, is that income from other sources? Yes. If he receives money, what money he should receive? If he receives any money, what money he should receive? Any of this money. That is your uh, Keyman insurance money. If he receives as an honorary chairman, will it be part of the deal? The answer is yes. If there is a fraud, if there is a fraud, if at all there is a fraud, then company, if they receive the claim amount, if there is a fraud, company receives the claim amount. Is it taxable? No, it is not at all taxable. Earlier. Now, guys, it is taxable under 28(6). If there is a fraud, company receives a fraud amount, would that be taxable? 100% yes, under 28(6). So this was the scheme. It is now 100% taxable. This is the current position. Whatever I explained. Earlier, what was happening and all, not needed now, to be honest. We just should understand what is happening now. You can actually copy this chart, guys. Important chart. Copy. All right. So this is regarding the KMP. So the salary, commission, bonus, interest received by a partner of a partnership firm. A partner of a partnership firm receives all these things: salary, commission, bonus, interest, etc. Would that also be PGBP? Answer is yes. Profit and gains of business or profession. This also is a part of the PGBP. Uh, it's not remuneration, it is PGBP, because a partner we cannot take. He can take remuneration, but it will not be counted as salary for him. It will be business, because he ultimately, a partner in a firm, is doing business. So that money that he receives will be called as business profit, right? And there is no TDS until November 2024. After November 2024, the TDS concept also was there. So for today, for you guys, is there TDS? Answer is yes. Then non-compete fee. Non-compete fee means what? Basically, if I agree to do something, I can take a fee where I'll say that I will not compete with my other parties. Or rather, if I leave this business, I'll not go join a competitor. For that, you need to pay me some amount. That's called non-compete. Or rather, if I'm giving you some know-how or intellectual property, I will assure you that I will not give that to somebody else. I will assure you that I will not give the same product to somebody else. I'll assure you that this belongs only to you for this next 2 years. These are all called non-compete fee. So basically, one of my dad's friends, actually, Mr. Ravi is his name. He created an additive, petroleum additive. He is a patent holder. He sold it to Shell. Shell petrol bunk you would have seen, no? And let's say Shell paid him 50 crore as a non-compete fee. Which means what? This additive, you should sell it only to us. You should not share it with anybody else. So I gave that thing to him, to Shell. So that 50 crore is called as a non-compete fee. And 50 crore is called as a non-compete fee. So any non-compete fee also is PGBP. So you see here, yeah, page number P3. Any sum received or receivable in cash or in kind under an agreement for not carrying out any activity in relation to any business or profession, non-compete fee. Not carrying on any business. Right? So if I receive 50 crore from Shell, is that for carrying on business or for not carrying on business? It's for not carrying on business. So will I get that money back? Answer is yes. Not carrying out any activity in relation to business or profession. It is called non-compete fee. Non-compete fee. Any sum received or receivable in cash or kind under an agreement for what? Not carrying on any activity. So this guy started cheating. I can cheat. How can I cheat? I have received 50 crore from Shell for not competing. Fair enough. I will not compete. But what I'll do something else. This is again crazy golmaal, cheating. What will I do? I will say, I will not compete with you 5 crore. For that, you pay me 5 crore. 45 crore. I enter into an agreement with you saying that I will not share the know-how with you. I will not share the know-how with somebody else. So in order to save tax, what were people doing? Instead of 50 crore was split into two. They said 5 crore, I will not compete with you. To the tune of 5 crore, I will not compete with you. But to the tune of 45 crore, I will say that I will not share this know-how with somebody else. The wordings changed. They said 5 crore, I will not compete. 45 crore, I will not share the know-how. So he was paying tax only on that 5 crore. And when the income tax officer used to ask, sir, you should pay tax on 50 crore, I used to tell, no, I will not pay tax on 50 crore because your wording say that I should not share, I should not, if I take payment for non-compete, that alone I should pay. How much is that? 5 crore. You have not told anything about not sharing know-how. Who won the case? SSC won the case. Cheating. By just changing the words in the contract, imagine. They saved tax on 45 crore. So when nothing can be done, what will the lawmaker do? Lawmaker will change the law. So if I add not sharing also into the picture, you will have to pay tax on 50 crore. Yes or no? Yes. You see? Second point. Deadly. Any sum received or receivable in cash or under agreement for not carrying on any activity that is not complete, or you see this one. Not sharing any know-how, patent, copyright, trademark, this also was added. So even if you enter into a contract to not share any patent, copyright, trademark, license or any other business, whatever it is, this also taxable. If I split it between 5 CR and 45 CR, at 45 CR also will be covered here. Not sharing know-how, patent, copyright, trademark, license, franchise, etc. Are you getting it, guys? Are you getting it? Yes or no? But if the right to manufacture is being transferred, etc., then I'm selling the entire right. That will be going under capital gains. That we'll see later. Even insurance policy we have seen. Partner also we have seen. See. So any compensation received from termination or modification of a business contract. So business contract is going on. You will come to me and say, let us terminate it. I'll say I need money for that. I need compensation. That compensation also, if I get, that is also what? That is also be treated as what? Any compensation received for termination, modification of business contract, that also will be treated as PGBP. Any compensation received for termination or modification of a business contract. Compensation received. So even under Companies Act, there is a section called 202. This is compensation for the loss of office. So as a managing director, as a whole-time director, etc., if you lose your office, then also I'll be getting some compensation. That compensation also is covered under this section. If there is really some issue, guys. Some days it is not your day, right? Either the screen is getting stuck or the OneNote is getting stuck. Okay, but anyway, we'll just continue. At least my voice is less audible for you, so you can continue that. Okay, thank God. So compensation received for termination or modification of business contract. Let's also keep the same. And also section 202 of the Act also says any compensation that you receive, any compensation that you receive will also be covered. Next, if you receive any of these dialogues, that is called duty drawback, cash compensatory support, DEPB, duty entitlement, DFRC. any of these things. Basically, all these words are irrelevant. I would say, in one word, any subsidy if you receive, any refund if you receive from the government or anybody for that matter, any subsidy, any refund, especially from the government, because government gives this duty drawback, cash compensatory support. When you make exports, they will give you refund of the duty. When you make exports, they will give you a compensatory support. They'll give you a duty entitled passbook. They will give you, many benefits. Now that benefit, isn't it reducing your expenses? Yes. Isn't it a benefit? Yes. Is it like an income? Yes, because it will be credited to your P&L account. Now, what is credited to your P&L account? Should it not be taxable? Yes. So, in the charging section, they have given all this to ensure that everything will be taxable. Tomorrow, you cannot go and say it is not taxable. It will 100% be taxable. That is one more thing. You will have a club. A club is an association of person. It is based on the principle of mutuality. You will open a club. Any income that is derived by the club for specific services, that obviously will be taxable. So there will be a club which will be registered as what? An association of person. And what does a club do ultimately? It gives you specific services. Let's say you have Bangalore club, you have Cosmopolitan club, you have so many clubs. Those clubs take money from the members and give back the services to those members. But there are certain specific services, like you can hire a marriage hall in that particular club. You can hire the entire club for your wedding. Those are specific services not given to everybody. Or if they give you also, you need to pay money for that. You will hire the club for your marriage. You will pay money to that club. Is it a general service that anybody can take, or is it a specific service? It's a specific service. The next question is, the club is making money from you. Is that taxable in the hands of the club? Answer is yes. Generally, they collect money from everyone. They give normal services, no problem. But these are specific services. Are specific services taxable? Yes. Then there is a section called 35 AD. 35 AD, specified business. In this specified business, whatever assets that you buy, you will get 100% deduction. So you actually, if you buy a capital asset, let's say you buy a building or you buy a machinery for 2 crore, that entire 2 crore will be allowed to be debited to P&L account in 35 AD. Will that 35 AD asset be asset in the balance sheet and will you claim depreciation? No. That entire 2 crore in the year that you buy only will be allowed to be debited to P&L account. Tomorrow, when you are selling that asset and you make some money, since you have debited to P&L account 2 crore, let's say tomorrow you're selling that asset for some 150 lakh rupees. Let's say you've done it enough. You have used that asset enough. Now you're selling that asset and making the money. You are crediting to P&L account 50 lakhs. Isn't that a profit? Yes. So will it be allowed? I mean, will it be taxable? Answer is yes. So a 35 AD asset which was debited to P&L account, when it is getting sold, any money that you receive will be taxable under PGBP. Taxable under PGBP. See, today everything is going. The screen went, now this went, that other screen went, voice went. So today is a technical issue day. What happened to this? I don't know. Sometimes, when things go wrong, everything will go wrong. things become fine, everything will become. I gave a break that time also it happened. Also it's okay. Thank God. Thank you so much. Gone. Super. They're like, why did you tell thanks? I'll delete it. Right? And it came. Sorry. Funny. Sometimes it happens, guys. Nothing can be done. Technical issue. See, point number three, the 35 AD. Point number four, specific services. Point number five is any compensation. Compensation for loss of office. And this is that manufacturer, keyman insurance, duty drawback, the duty entitlement passbook scheme, duty fee replenishment certificate. All these are benefits given. Yes, the system also takes break. You're right. But it takes break at wrong times. It should take break when we take break, no? Right. Yes. Partner of the firm, we discussed. These limits also have changed. If you remember, there were these limits in GA Inter, you would have studied. Remuneration is allowed only on the basis of book profits, but that also has been amended here. This is the amendment. This you already know. It's an old amendment. Finance Act 24 amendment. What is it? So you should compute book profit for your partnership firm. Compute the book profit on the first 6 lakh rupees. On the first 6 lakh rupees, or in the case of a loss, how much remuneration you will get? 3 lakh rupees or 90%, whichever is higher. 3 lakh rupees or 90%, whichever is higher. And on the balance, 60%. On the first 6 lakh rupees, it is 3 lakh or 90%, whichever is higher. On the balance, it is 60%. So there is something called as taxation of firms. That time we'll see, no problem. Subsidy, any form of subsidy, etc., to be taken into account. Now, one more point. Let's say there is a construction company which has many floors. The ground floor, 3 flats, they will convert it to sales office or a corporate office. For a construction company, these floors, as you know, will be what? These floors, etc., will be definitely stock in trade. In that, I'm telling the ground floor, 3 buildings, 3 flats, I'm converting it to capital asset. Means what? I'm converting it into sales office or corporate office. So what am I doing now? A business is converting stock in trade into capital asset. Let's say cost of the 3 homes is 3 crore. Cost is 3 crore, assume 1 crore each is the cost. But the fair market value is 6 crore. Fair market value is 6 crore, means 2 crores each is the house. Cost of construction 1 crore. Selling price 2 crore. Fair market value 2 crore. Overall, for all three put together, how much it will be? 6 crore. In my closing stock, how much will be there? 3 crore will be there. But now I'm selling it for how much? 6 crore. Am I selling it? No, I'm not selling it. But am I converting it? Yes. The beauty is in your closing stock, how much will be left? In your closing stock, 3 crore will be given. In your closing stock, 3 crore will be given. But I'm selling it for what? I'm selling it for 6 crore. Selling it for 6 crore. Am I actually selling it? No. I'm converting it to office. So now the question is very simple. If you're converting it to office, Those 3 buildings, 3 flats, you should now take it into the asset side. You're taking it into the asset side. What will you record it as? 3 crore or 6 crore? That is the question. What will you record it in the balance sheet? 6 crore or 3 crore? 3 crore is the cost. And now you're converting it into asset. When that conversion is happening, you'll convert it at 3 crore or 6 crore is the question. So you may say, sir, I am not paying 1 rupee also for that. I'm just converting. So let me record it at 3 crore. Somebody else will tell, sir, but if I had sold it outside, sold it now, it's okay. But if I had sold it outside to somebody, I would have sold it at 6 crore. So to clear confusion, they inserted this section. They said, when the stock in trade is converted to capital asset, assume you are selling it to yourself. Weird. Cash is not going out, don't worry, but assume you're selling it to yourself. Assume you are the seller, you are the buyer, both are different parties. If you had sold that building to 6 crore to somebody else, what would you have credited your P&L account? 6 crore. 6 crore is credited, debited, closing stock is 3 crore. So 3 crore anyway is your profit. So the beauty is, same logic they told. If I am a seller, you are the buyer, I would have sold you for 6 crore. For me, what is my profit in my P&L account? 6 crore is the selling price, 3 crore is the cost price, 3 crore is my profit. For you, you will record it at what rate? You have bought it for 6 crore. So in your balance sheet, you will show the asset at 6 crore. They said same logic you do here, but in this example, buyer and seller are the same. So in PGBP, you show selling price at 6 crore. Cost automatically it will be 3 crore. So 6 minus 3 crore will be the profit in your PGBP. But what is the gain that you will be showing? 6 crore. What is the P&L credit that you will be showing? 6 crore. Also now, since you have already paid tax on 6 crore, 6 minus 3 basically, you can show your asset at what rate? 6 crore. Guys, if stock in trade is converted to capital asset, then FMB will be how much? PGBP. FMB 6 crore will be my PGBP. But actually, I'll be paying tax on 6 crore minus 3 crore. So 6 crore minus 3 crore will be my actual profit. But what will I show as credit in the P&L account? 6 crore. Debit automatically 3 crore is the cost. 6 minus 3, 3 will remain. What will remain? I'm not concerned. What will I record it as? 6 crore. Asset to be recorded at 6 crore in the balance sheet of Naveen Constructions. Depreciation is charged on 6 CR. Did you understand this, guys? Yes or no? Understood? All of you guys? Any form of subsidy also is a receipt, it will be chargeable to tax. And any sort of discontinued business as well. Interesting. I will discontinue my business today. Tomorrow, suddenly, the business will come into force. In the sense, some money I receive. Will that be PGBP? Yes. I discontinued my business. 4 years later, somebody came and said, sir, actually, I know you are discontinued, but the thing is, sir, I'm giving you this money back. It's your money. Please take it. Yes. Will be taxable. Then one more interesting amendment came here. One more interesting thing came. Treatment of income from letting out of residential house. This amendment came in 2024. Applicable especially from now. First day of April 2025. So whenever law says no, with effect from first day of April 25, it means from assessment year 25-26. That's what it generally means. Unless otherwise stated, it generally means assessment year 25-26. Which means financial year 24-25. Anyway, in section 28 of the Income Tax Act, the following explanation shall be inserted with effect from 1st April 2025. What is that? I'll tell you the logic. Forget about the amendment is easy. I'll tell you the logic. No need to mug up anything. Many people even now, as the salaries etc. have increased, people have two homes. One home they live in, one home they will give it on rent. So people started having two homes. So generally everyone will try to plan for two homes. One normal, one they will have slightly bigger house or whatever. They will give it up on rent or whatever. So if you give it on rent, it will be income from house property. Income from house property, you know what is it. Anyway, for CA, CMA final, CA final, CMA final, income from house property and all is not there. But you would have studied in Inter. In income from house property, you just get the standard deduction of 30%, remaining everything else you have to do it on your own. And then either way, you will have to pay tax. But what were people doing? One house they were living in, other home, no, second home. They converted into a business. They gave it to platforms called as Airbnb. You may have heard something called Airbnb. It's Air Bread and Breakfast. In Airbnb, you can run your house as a serviced apartment. Rather than getting rent for full month, you'll be getting rent per day. That rent will be 5,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees. So instead of earning 20,000 rupees per month, you will actually end up earning 2 lakh rupees per month. If you charge 5,000, 10,000 rupees per day, you'll be earning so much money. So letting out of a residential property, letting out of the part of the house shall not be chargeable under the head PGBP. Shall be chargeable under the head. So the thing is, what was happening? Very interesting. People were using it as a business. Rather than income from house property and earning at 20,000 rupees per month, they started earning 2 lakh rupees per month through this concept of Airbnb. I have also stayed in many Airbnbs, and the homes, if you take it on rent, it will be less only. But since we stay for 1 day, 2 day like that, we'll have to pay a lot. Like that, many people will come and stay for 1 and 2 day. It's like a serviced apartment. People started doing this business. And since I'm doing business, 2 lakh will be my income, but I'll show expenses as 1 lakh 90,000 expense. I'll show. Simply, I'll show maintenance. I can fake expenses, no? People were faking expenses and they were reducing their taxability. So instead of charging income from house property, they are converting it to business and making it PGBP. So to ensure that doesn't happen, Nirmala madam did this. It is hereby clarified that any income from letting out of a residential house or part of the house shall not be chargeable under the head PGBP, and it shall be chargeable under the head income from house property. They said it will not be PGBP, it will be what? Income from house property. Deadly. It got shifted to what? Income from house property. Got it? So it is not PGBP. Okay. Can go through.